I saw somebody wandering about there. I was trying to see who it was.
Number 19. Thank
Number
you.
19.
All right. Is it on? Hello? No.
You hold it to the light.
What'd you say?
Hold it into the light comes up.
Aha!
Look into the light, Jen.
I see the light. Oh, do I have to? Ah. All right.
Particularly if you stand behind the podium.
Oh. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me take a minute, cause I'm gonna. Thank you for a beautiful song. And good morning.
Good
morning. I'm getting ready. Yeah. So, the theme for 2026 is open at the top. And the theme for June is higher, deeper love. Today's topic, I want to know what love is. There's a song about that. Ernest Holmes writes, infinite love harmonizes our entire being. The healing currents of life flow through us, adjusting our whole physical being to divine harmony. Our book of the month is New York Times bestseller, All About Love by Bell Hooks. It is the first volume in the Love Song to the Nation trilogy, in which Bell Hooks reveals what causes a polarized society, how to heal the divisions, the truth about love, how to instill caring, compassionate, and strength in our homes, schools, and workplaces. Here's a quote from her book about self-love. One of the best guides to how to be self-loving is to give ourselves the love we are often dreaming about receiving from others. Do not expect to receive the love from someone else that you do not give to yourself. Pretty powerful words. Please affirm with me. I give the fullness of love to all aspects of me. Considering that we're all connected, it's a pretty powerful thing.
Yes.
And now I'm going to invite a pretty powerful woman to come up and share her powerful message.
Takes one to know one, Jen. Thank you. I came prepared today, just in case. All right. So, welcome to June and our quest to experience and express higher, deeper love. We talk about this thing called love so often, but the thing that is so important to me about it is that so often our culture treats it like a passing emotion or a romantic feeling or a warm sentiment or feeling of affection, and yet it is so much more. It includes that, but is so much more. Ernest Holmes says, love is the fundamental impulse of spirit, a divine givingness present in every moment. Present in every moment, that divine givingness. So love is not just a feeling, it's also an action. It's an action that we can feel compelled to do when we're in touch with that divine presence within us. It's that compelling kind of feeling. And it shows up in things like care, generosity, gratitude, recognition, respect, commitment, trust, and also honest, open communication. One of the things I really appreciate about our community is that's, I'm trusting that we all feel able to do that with each other. And so love is that impulse that is seeking to express itself through us. It's inviting us to step into a grander expression of ourselves. And when we open ourselves to higher, deeper love, we stop waiting for the feeling and instead start choosing to be it. Choosing to be it. So when love moves from a passing emotion to a very substantial state of divine givingness, it can compel us to do extraordinary things in our life. So back in 2013, there was a man by the name of Brian Martindale. And Brian walked into his local store in Bay City, Michigan, and picked up a newspaper, and on the front of the paper was the story of, first of all, a picture of a girl, and a story next to it of her mother's plea. So Jessica, the 10-year-old, was in need of a kidney, so the mother was pleading for a kidney donor. That divine love, that higher love, must have stirred in Brian, because he was compelled to be the donor. He heard the call and he acted upon it, and a few months later, Jessica received the kidney. And he became very close, well, I should say she became very close with he and his wife. They treated her like a daughter. And as he began to read more and more about it, he realized there were thousands of children who needed a kidney donor. And so he was again compelled to take another step, and he formed an organization in 2022 called Kidneys for Kids. And part of that organization was that somebody donated a vehicle to him, and he drove in a matter of 4 years, from 2022 to current times, more than 25,000 miles in those 4 years across the country, and also making contact in other countries. And his goal was to connect 100 kidney donors with 100 children. So that's his quest, and it's an ongoing quest. And just to think about how something that could be just a passing emotion became something deeper and higher within him that led to an extraordinary acts, not just one, but acts, dedicating his life to this. What did Dan put up there? So, it's easy to become inspired by a story like Brian's. Yeah, that was the punctuation there. But what about everyday frustrations? How do we access love in the midst of all of that? Well, I have a story for you. This is an old story about a spiritual seeker who went to their guru and proudly said, "Master, have finally learned how to love everybody in the entire universe unconditionally. Well, except for my neighbor. I can't stand my neighbor. And so the guru said, yes, that is the test, is to love even the one who plays music at 2 a.m. Maybe some of you know someone like that, I don't know. So love doesn't disappear even when things get difficult, although sometimes it feels like that. Because love is the very essence of spirit, the essence of the universe, and because it dwells in, through, and as us, that love is available, yes, even in the most difficult and demanding circumstances. So that means circumstances that are annoying, that are painful, and that are uncomfortable. So embracing higher love, higher, deeper love then, is how we navigate these very challenging situations, where we can, instead of having strong emotional reactions, is we can learn to take a breath when we notice it starting to rise up in us. Take a breath, maybe even walk away for a while and cool down, but take a breath and then choose love. It's a choice. It's a choice, even when we're upset. And that is something that I continue to work on, I have to admit. Sometimes I'm successful and sometimes I'm not. So a deep breath. And it also might be listening deeply to someone who has a different viewpoint and breathing while we're doing that. Or it might be taking a breath before responding to an email that is challenging to read, or a social post. And choosing love, being sure that our comments, which are going out there into the ethers, are coming from a place of love, even with the challenging stuff going on in the world. So I want to share a personal story about, and I said sometimes I have challenges with this, about choosing love, choosing peace in the midst of a challenging situation. So every year, some of you know this and some of you don't, every year in April, we have received a nice amount of money from the Margaret Long Trust Fund. Sally Orr, who was the very first practitioner in the state of Delaware, this is her mother's fund, and they've been supporting us all these years, all 15 years. And a couple of years ago, it was $2,000 for quite a while. It leaped up to $9,000. And that $9,000 has been a beautiful benefit for our spiritual community and our mission and vision. And so April came, a check arrived in the mail, we deposited it, it bounced. So I got in contact with Diane, who is a lovely woman. I'm so grateful for her, who is the executor. She lives in New York City, and she's always been just a delight. So I contacted her. She contacted Merrill Lynch. And they said, they looked into it and said, oh, it's been inactive for a year, so we locked it down. Well, she was like, but I do this once a year, every year, so what's this all about? So anyway, they said they fixed it. She said, go ahead and redeposit the check. We did. It bounced again. So I got back in touch with her, and she was like, oh my gosh. So she went back again to the company. They said, oh, we fixed part of it, but we didn't fix this other part that accepts checks. So again, she said, well, okay, why don't you submit it again? I thought, you know what, how about just sending us a new check? So, okay, no problem. Weeks later, the check hasn't arrived. I call her, and she says, okay, actually it was just recently. Now, remember, this usually comes in April. We're now in June. So then finally she said, okay, the check is, she'd send a registered check this time, in registered mail. And so it's been a week, and there's still like two $9,000 checks floating in the ethers of the Postal Service somewhere out there. So for me personally, I've asked for a lot of prayer around this. I've done the busting loose process multiple times, not just once, multiple times. And it wasn't until in our busting loose class last week that Virgie had, who's one of the members of the class, Virgie had done an AI search on non-attachment, right, Virgie? And she sent it to Patrick, and I read through it, and it was like, this was the turning point for me. You know, I really have got to let this, I am being attached to that $9,000 showing up and then being deposited in our CSL Delaware account. And because of the attachment, all of this waiting was really challenging for me. And so I finally said, you know, this isn't worth my peace of mind. I mean, it's not that I'm thinking about it 24/7, but it's just often enough each day that I know that it's stealing my peace, you know, focusing on this. So I'm here in front of all of you saying that I am committed to choose peace. And when it, you know, the universe is always on time. When it gets here, it gets here. When it gets here, it gets here. And I'm letting it go. I'm choosing peace.
Yay!
So I'd like you to turn to a neighbor. And if there's more, you know, if it can be one neighbor, two, no more than three of you though. Turn to someone, and Dan has some questions up here for you. Okay, one way that you chose love for yourself in a difficult situation. The other one is one way you chose love, it should be love for another person in a difficult situation. So situations in which you chose love, even when it was difficult. Okay, so you have about 3 or 4 minutes to share.
Do you want to join us?
Whatever we say is going to get picked up. And you share with me.
It could have been me. What's the problem?
Does anybody need more time? Raise your hand. Okay.
I looked when I saw it when you first said it. Yes.
Isn't that a whole lot better than me yelling, "Everybody back to your seats"? Ah. So is everybody feeling more uplifted now, thinking in terms of the times that you have chosen love, and realizing that if we can do it once, we can do it more often? And, you know, this idea of choosing love instead of reactivity is very powerful. I think it's always powerful, but even now, so important for our inner peace. And so this entire month, as we move through all of these different ideas around accessing higher, deeper love, I'm trusting that your choice of higher, deeper love is not only going to impact your life with more peace of mind, but also be a huge beneficial presence to others. So let me just turn within in prayer. I know the band will be coming up now. Giving thanks for this opportunity to deepen into this awareness of what love is. This higher, deeper love that is available, that is the ground of all being, the very source of life itself, that impulse of love that is calling us, compelling us into kinder, more loving action. So I know as we all move through this month and even beyond, we're establishing an even deeper habit of showing up as love. And that means on social media too. Showing up as love in every situation. And making a difference in this world. Co-creating heaven on earth, a world that works for all. I give thanks for this, this clarity, this awareness, this rising of love in my own heart in this moment for this beloved community that I get to share these messages with, and just community, this beautiful sense of community. And I release this word now with a grateful heart into the universal law of mind that responds. That's its design. It's designed to respond to the mold of thought that we offer it and bring it into manifestation. Particularly when it comes from love, it's just so powerful and so good. And so I invite all of us to accept this good, this higher, deeper love into our lives with a powerful yes,
Yes.
and so it is. All right.
So it is.